So you've been wanting to launch your online coaching business, but you don't know exactly where to start. Well, no worries, I got you. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 major steps that you need to take to launch your coaching business the right way. Okay, so I've been doing this for well over 3 years. I've been an entrepreneur for going on 6, and I'm really excited to deep dive today to show you exactly the steps that you need to take so that you can get launched the right way, do things the right way, and start making a lot of money while doing it. All right, so if you have a heart of service and you're ready to get launched, let's dive right into the video. So welcome back. My name's Latice Hudson. I'm an online business coach. I like to say corporate dropout turned 7-figure business coach. And I've been around these streets for a little bit. Okay. So I've built my business to over 7 figures in less than 3 years. And now I want to show you how I did it and save you a lot of heartache and tears along the way. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to break down the 5 steps to launch your coaching business the right way so that you can make a lot of impact and make a lot of money. Let's get into it. So we're going to be talking all the details about how to get launched, but I do want to give you a disclaimer. I am not a tax professional or an attorney, so please consult your own legal counsel, your professional counsel. Anybody that you need to consult, please consult with them before you get launched, because I want you to realize that you're going into this as a mindset of a CEO, an entrepreneur, and a business owner. This is not going to be a hobby for you, okay? And that is one of the big things that I didn't necessarily include in this video, but I want to really share with you that in order to operate and become the CEO that you want, you have to have that mindset from the get-go, okay? So I'm going to break down all the things that you should be doing, but also internally, you got to make that shift. So yes, it may not be the most fun way to have to open up the LLC and do all the things legally, but I promise you it's going to save you a hell of a lot of heartache in the end. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want you to think about when you're getting launched is you have to launch professionally. Okay, so the first thing that you want to think about is forming a business entity. You are a business. Okay, so when I launched my business, I opened up a single member LLC. An LLC is a limited liability company, okay? So you are now going to be in business, so you need to have a separate entity that shows the whole world that you are doing business professionally. So I would highly recommend, in most cases, to open up a single member LLC. Now, there's a great resource that you can go to. If you don't want to hire an attorney right off the bat, you can go to a website called howtostartanllc.com. That website has been extremely helpful for tons of my clients that didn't necessarily want to hire an attorney off the bat. I don't necessarily think that you have to. I didn't, but there are a couple of things that you're going to want to know. Each state is differently, okay? So you actually do not have to pay anyone to file your LLC if you don't want to. Now, depending on the state, different states do have different fees to open up your LLC. When I was in Colorado, I believe it was $50. That's when my first ever LLC was opened. But now I live in Arizona and there's different fees. I think it's like $40 a year here. I'm not sure. I'll definitely put the amount on the screen. But for example, in states like California, it's like $800 to open up your LLC and to maintain it yearly. So you do want to take in consideration where you live when you're opening up your LLC. I know a lot of people say, open up your LLC in like Wyoming or Delaware or Nevada, but personally, I would recommend opening up your LLC in the state that you live in. Now I know some of those fees can be a little bit more, a little bit more than you maybe want to shell out, but you have to realize that you are a business, okay? So get your business operating legally, open up your LLC. Now, one of the things that you want to think about when you're opening up your LLC that I hardly see anybody talking about is there's a couple key pieces that you want to have. You need to have an articles of organization. You'll do that when you open up your LLC. And then you also want to have an operating agreement. Even if you are a single member, which I am, like I have nobody else has any interest in my business but me, but I still have an operating agreement on how the business operates, how the business runs, things like that. And then I also have something called a meeting minute. So we do host annual meeting minutes. Even though it's only like 5 minutes, I do host these annual meeting minutes. So you want to make sure that you have those forms in place when you're opening up your LLC. I will put a link down below to a site that I use to get those documents prepared, but you want to make sure that you have all that in place, because if you do ever get sued, which it's not an if, it's probably a win as a business. The bigger that you get, the more that people want to come for you. You want to make sure that you have everything in place. All right. So operating agreement, articles of organization, and meeting minutes. Now, on top of that, you also want to have something called an EIN. An EIN number is essentially like a social security number for your business, essentially. Do not pay anybody to give you an EIN. There's all these fake websites that will try to sell you to get an EIN. An EIN is completely free. You're gonna go to the irs.gov website to open up to get a free EIN number, okay? Once you do that, it usually comes back within a couple of days. I know during COVID, it was a little bit backed up, but typically it comes back in just a couple of days. From there, once you get that EIN number, you wanna open up a business checking account, okay? So I personally use Chase because I have a lot of my things through Chase, but there's plenty of online banking apps that you can use. I've heard of Novo is really good, Relay. There's a bunch of different accounts that you can open, but the point of the matter is that you wanna separate your finances ASAP. It's called piercing the veil. So if you get sued, right, they're gonna look at your finances. If you're using your business checking account to pay for your rent, for example, that's not gonna fly in court, okay? It's called piercing the veil. So many people get this wrong, thinking just because you have an LLC that you're not accountable for your business, and if it gets sued, no, you have to have all these other things in place, okay? So make sure that you're opening up a separate business checking account at minimum. Essentially, what we use is something called Profit First. Profit First is a system made by Mike McCowicks. I can't say his last name, but he's the author of the book. And essentially he talks about how to ensure you as a business owner are actually getting paid profit, all right? You really wanna make sure that you are paying yourself. I talk to so many entrepreneurs that don't pay themselves, and it literally blows my mind, okay? And I was one at the beginning, but no more, honey. So what I would recommend is this. Again, I'm not an attorney or a tax professional or a tax accountant or anything like that, but this is what I would recommend if you're just starting out. Open up one business checking account to receive money, open up another business checking account to have money outgoing, like operational expenses, paying for your software, tools, things like that. And then I would also open up another account as a savings account. I would open up a savings account where you're gonna hold your business profit. Now, what I would do is in that profit account, I would actually use something like a high yield savings account. We use Marcus Stacks, and I actually have a referral code, so I'll drop that below in this video, but you'll get an extra little bit of interest if you use my code. No worries, you don't have to, but it's been a game changer. So we put all of our excess profit into that account. Now, there are other buckets that Mike recommends that we do have, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. When you're just getting started, that's really all that you need. You don't want to actually, I know this sounds crazy, but you don't want to have an account where you have all of your money just sitting in one account, okay? As a business, you want to have one account where money outflows and one account where money inflows. Make sense? Every invoice that gets paid, you want to make sure that money inflows into that account, and then paying your business bills, paying yourself, things like that. You want to have a separate checking account. I like having Chase because I can have all those accounts linked, and I can see that right inside of my business banking app. The last thing that I'm going to tell you and share with you about getting set up financially and legally is make sure that you get a bookkeeper, okay? So if you don't have the money right up front to invest in bookkeeping, no worries. You can go on Etsy and get a bookkeeping sheet or create an Excel sheet, but I would highly recommend being on top of your books. So managing what's coming in, when they're paying what are your expenses, etc., because you don't want to be like me at the beginning of my business, is just overspend on your expenses, okay? It can be really easy to get caught up in all the software and the investments, and while all that stuff's great, you still need to be taking your profit every single month, okay? Because starting an online business is very low cost to entry. So you should be profitable very early on in your business, all right? We personally use something called bench accounting. I have a referral link, I'll drop that below. But currently they're like $2.99 a month. And it's been a game changer. We've been using them for well over 2 years now. And now when I go to file my taxes every year, it's very easy peasy. I just hand it over to my CPA. We reconcile anything we need to reconcile, and it takes me like 15 to 20 minutes to file my taxes because everything's right there. Books are managed and we know where everything is. We know down to the dollar. And if I was you, the IRS is auditing small businesses more than ever. So make sure that you do this the right way from the very beginning, okay? So get yourself set up officially, legally, financially, so that when you're filing taxes a year from now or 6 months from now, you are set up for success. All right, the second thing that you need to think about, now that we have all the boring stuff out of the way, but necessary, we really want to think about you launching and really having a core market and a core offer. All right, so so often when I talk to coaches that are getting ready to launch their coaching business, they don't really know what they're selling. They don't know who they're speaking to, and they're very unclear on how they actually serve their clients, okay? This is one of the number one reasons why most coaches fail, is because they don't actually have a market that wants to buy from them, okay? So let me kind of debunk this. You don't need to speak to everyone, but you do need to speak to a market that not only wants what you have to sell, but that can pay for what you have to sell. All right. So if you're launching a coaching program, which this is what this video is about, right? I talk about other things on my channel about digital products, but if you're launching a coaching program specifically, I always recommend that you look at people that you look up to that are in the space and look at to get inspiration. Now, this isn't to say to go imitate them or anything like that. You're not going to be copying, but look at your competition. Okay. So when you're thinking about serving your clients, I want you to think about this. What type of advice do people come to you for? What do you love giving advice on? And what could you talk about for hours and hours on end and not get bored? All right. For me, that was business. I had 2 other businesses before. If you guys were here, you're OGs, you know, this channel was all about Turo, Amazon, eBay, all of that years ago, back 2017, 2018, etc. Right. So that was my original niche, but I knew that I wanted to expand, and I knew that I had these skills and abilities. I'd ran successful businesses for 2 years. I wanted to take that expertise and knowledge and show other people how to do the things that I had already did. Hence why coaching came to light. I want you to think about this, okay? And this may go against the grain, but here's the thing. You can do your passion when you have a lot of money in the bank account. I'm not saying that you can't do your passion now. I talk to so many coaches that just want to help people live their best life and, you know, find joy in their life, and all that's great. But at the end of the day, people are not paying for joy and peace. What they're paying for is either making more money, paying for having better relationships, or they're paying for better health, period. So you have to be able to position yourself in one of those 3 markets: health, wealth, and relationships, period, right? People try to fight me on it all day. If you have a big audience, sure, you can sell in another niche, but at the end of the day, if you're just starting out, you have to speak to a market that's already in demand. Why? Because if it's already in demand, means there's more people that need the problem solved, which means that you can come in and be profitable very early on. Because here's the truth of the matter, your passion may not get you paid. If you love riding bikes, that's great, but that may not get you paid. But if you love teaching people how to open up a bike store, that'll absolutely get you paid, all right? So we have to speak to a market that can pay us, that's willing to pay us, and that their problem is so painful that they need it solved now. We have to think about solving our ideal clients' pain points and serving up and showing them, because people will pay for convenience, they will pay for speed, they will pay for efficiency, right? Think about why everybody's so hype about, not everybody, but think about why people are so willing to spend money on weight loss surgery, right? Like they're willing to spend $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on weight loss surgery, right? So we got to think about where is the money at? Where are people paying? And do people want this result right now? If so, that's a premium market that can pay you. Because here's the thing, people want their problem solved regardless. So you might as well create an offer that speaks to a problem that people are ready to solve. The third thing that I want you to think about when you're getting ready to launch your coaching business is that you got to actually get ready to serve your clients. So the third thing that I want you to think about is getting ready for business. So there's a couple of key things that you need so that you can actually serve your clients at a really high level and present yourself extremely professionally, ready to serve them, not like you're just some Joe Schmo fraud off the street, okay? So the first thing that you want to think about is you need contracts, okay? I'm going to link below a couple of people that I use for contracts that are amazing. The Legal Shop and Coaches and Company have completely changed the game, but you need a one-to-one client coaching agreement, okay? If you're starting off with one-to-one coaching, which I typically recommend brand new coaches start out with. The second thing that you need is a payment method, right? You got to get paid. So I always recommend using either Wave apps, Stripe, or PayPal. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of PayPal, but a lot of times it's one of the most easily accessible ways to get paid. But Wave apps, Stripe, and PayPal, they're all free. Besides the fees, it's usually like between 2.6 to 2.9% plus like a 20 or 30% fee per transaction. So you're not paying anything up front to use the service. You're only paying a fee once you get paid. Now, I always hear, oh, that's so expensive. girl, you are running a business. It's the cost of doing business. And again, I'm not an attorney or a tax accountant or anything like that or CPA, but we on our taxes do write those fees off as an expense. Okay. So you end up recouping it in the end. So do it the right way. Do not take payment through Venmo or Cash App or Zelle, right? Because it's just don't do it. Okay. Period. Just don't do it. Looks unprofessional and we're not here for it. Period. The next thing that you need to be able to take a client on is you need a place to be able to store their client information. So I typically recommend having Google Workspace, Google Drive, and we also use another software called Airtable. We use Airtable to manage our entire client fulfillment. So we manage where our clients are at, we manage your payments coming in, etc. And you can use the free version of Airtable, but you want to be able to store documents and then you want to be able to store client information leveraging Airtable, okay? Google Workspace, I think is like $10 a month or something like that. And Airtable is completely free. And I will say, I wish I would have used Airtable from the very beginning. It was so messy 2 years ago when we were trying to transition, track everything. So definitely start tracking from the very beginning because you want to be able to track when people are paying you. You want to be able to track their address for gifts, an onboarding form, etc. So have it all in one spot so you're not trying to figure out where everything is. The fourth thing that you need is a way to communicate with your clients and host coaching calls. So I love and stand by Zoom. I'm a stick beside them. I've used Zoom since the very beginning. All you need is a free plan when you're just getting started. The last thing that you need is a scheduler. You don't want to be back and forth trying to schedule your clients on a call. So I highly recommend Calendly. It's a great software. I'll link below, but you can use that to be able to schedule appointments, send them reminders, and get them booked in so that everybody's on the same page at all times. The last thing that you need to successfully launch your coaching business is you actually have to go to market, okay? This is usually people's they try to skip all these other steps to get to this point. But here's the thing. Once you get all those other pieces in place, you're going to be so happy that you did because you're going to appear way more professional. People are going to take you a lot more serious and you're going to be ready to receive. I always tell my clients, you want to be ready to serve your clients at a high level. And if you're going to be paid at $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 per coaching client, you need to come ready, period. All right. So highly recommend that you get all these other steps set up before you start marketing your business. Let's kind of talk about what you need to go to market and start selling your coaching program. The first thing that I want you to do is optimize your social media. So I want you to put up a nice banner, tell them who you are, how you help them. And I want you to be open for business. I also want you to put up a nice photo of yourself. I want you to show you don't need a fancy professional branding shoot or anything, but a simple, nice iPhone photo works really well. But show your face, make it bright and airy, and show that you're ready for business, okay? The next thing that I want you to do is take that scheduling link to book a call, and I want you to put that in your bio. So if you're on Instagram, it should look like this, but you want to be able to allow people to get in contact with you to book a call, okay? Now, when you're just beginning out, you definitely want to get on the phone with people to sell them into your program. But as you scale, you'll see in later videos, we talk about other ways to sell. But if you're launching your coaching business and you're brand new and you're not known online, the easiest way to build know, like, trust to get somebody to enroll is to get on a call with them. All you need is about 30 minutes, but a quick sales call and enrollment call is going to move the needle a lot faster. The last thing that I want to share with you on how to open up the doors to your coaching program to let the world know that you are ready is I want you to make this one simple post. And I always say this because a lot of times people are so scared about getting on social media, but here's the thing. Let me backtrack really quick. So if you currently have a social media presence and you're not monetizing it, that's okay. I'm going to have you make this one simple post, but I will answer this question. A lot of times people ask me, well, if I'm just starting my business, should I open up new accounts? I would absolutely say yes, because if you have a small audience, it's totally fine. But if you have maybe an existing audience from a previous business, or say you, for me, I used to be called the Financially Fit Millennial. And then I started my coaching business, which was completely different. I transitioned my audience, which took a long time. So I would recommend you open up new social media accounts and start from scratch. Now, in the meantime, we're not going to hang out and just wait for those accounts to grow. What we're going to do is believe in the power that we are 1 degree of separation away from our next client. All right. So what I want you to do is make this one post on all of your social media platforms, on stories, on Facebook feed, on TikTok, wherever you have an audience. I want you to say this. I'm thinking about opening a mentorship program for 3 months, helping women lose 15 pounds after having their first baby. Would you be interested? What you want to do is call out who you help, the problem that you solve, and the result that they can expect working with you in X amount of time frame. I want you to post it on your social media, and then everybody that responds, I want you to send them a DM, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and put down in the link below, I'm going to put down a free script on how to initially have that conversation with people that are DMing you or interested in your services so you can book your first sales call, all right? That script's gonna be completely free. Grab it in the link below, but that's what you need to do in order to get people to move the needle, okay? I always say content isn't king, conversations are. When I leverage these sales conversations that didn't even feel like selling, I took my business from 3K a month to 20K a month, and we still use that same methodology at well over 100K months inside of our business, all right? So I know that was a lot of information, but that's really what you need to get launched, get open to the public, and let the world know that you are here and ready to serve your people and ready to take over as a coach in your industry, okay? So if you like this video, go ahead and comment below, like and subscribe. And if you are a coach that's looking to start and scale your business to 10K months and beyond, I have a brand new free mini course that's gonna walk you through how to sell your coaching program on autopilot, all right? So go ahead and click the link below. It's a brand new free mini course. It's completely free. And I'm gonna walk you through the steps on how to get your business to 10K, 50K, even 100K months and beyond, even if you're just starting out, all right? So that training is completely free. Go ahead and click the link below in the description box. Grab that free mini course. And like I said, if you love this video, comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.